All right, so let's look at the Nets. Let's look at the Nets. Obviously, this was what elite looks like in terms of in terms of the Nets coming back, man. But let's go into the context with everything. So basically, Thursday night again was, before the Clippers game was the Nets game, and it was the Nets and the Milwaukee Bucks. Obviously, the Nets were up 2-0, and this was a big game, a big legacy game, especially for, Giannis and Middleton and just the Bucks in general, right? If they lose this, maybe they end up blowing it up, right? You never know, trading some stuff and just, you never know. But most likely they probably would in this Milwaukee. They're not getting no free agent anytime soon like that, right? But, obviously, again, they didn't want to go down 3-0. If you go down 3-0, you're probably going to get swept or you're guaranteed done in 5. Like, really, do you see a team go down 3-0 and go to 6 and push it, for the long haul? So they were on the verge of doing that. And they only won by, got away by the what is it, the likes of their chinny chin chin or whatever it is. That's what they got away by. Just the hair on my chinny chin chin. That's what they did. They got away. They pulled one out. But like, it was really like, it was one of those lucky wins. Like, I'm just being honest. And, oh my God, you like the Nets. No, it has nothing to do with liking the Nets. Like, you can't watch that as a Bucks fan and be confident. You can't watch that as a Bucks fan and be happy of what you saw. Because, like, the Bucks went up 30-9. They went up, 21 points. Like, they went up OD. You went up OD. And yet, in the blink of an eye in the second quarter, just like that, you're down 2. Or you're only up 2. Just like that. Just like that. So it's like, come on now. And not only that, the Nets are struggling. They're struggling, and they're not having a great offensive game. And yet still, you hope. This is what you hope for. You hope for them to come home, the Bucks, and have a splash gate, right? You're looking for them for the floodgates to be open. You're looking for them to just, they at home now, they're going to shoot way better. Middleton shot better, but everybody else shot the same. Because why? The game plan don't change, and that's what I said. The game plan is going to be the same from the Nets. I expect the same fugazi shooting from the Bucks. Only one is, can Middleton really now hit the same jump shots he was getting? Contested, step back shot creating type of mid-range or whatever type of jump shots. Is he going to hit them now? And he's probably going to shoot better. And that's what I said is going to be the difference. But I didn't expect the Nets to shoot this bad. Nothing. The Bucks did no adjustments offensively. There's nothing they changed. Only thing was PJ Tucker's the same PJ Tucker being more aggressive. But even then, it's not like KD is shooting all contested shots. And the ones that even look contested weren't really contested. And those are makeable, obviously. But he had a lot of shots in the drop that were wide open. Right? A lot of shots in the drop that were wide open shots, and they missed, right, with the Nets. Well, let's go into that context, because I gave it that context, my fault. But yeah, they had wide open shots in the drop. Wide open shots in the drop. You seen Kyrie miss wide open shots that were makeable. Even shots that were misses were rattles. Pull-ups from KD that were rattles. You know what I'm saying? Open shots in the drop. Joe Harris went 1 for 11. He was hella wide open on almost all his shots. And even the shots that weren't look like wide open, it was him coming off the curl that he normally makes. Wide open shots missed. That last one in the fourth, wide open shot miss. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you seeing mans miss wide open shots that the Nets don't miss. So imagine the same thing happens. You think you're confident that they're gonna miss those shots again? Let's really think about it. You confident they're gonna miss those shots again? No, sir. No, sir. They're not missing that. This was the worst offensive performance from the Nets, and yet the Bucks only won by 3. And even KD's miss, that shit almost went in. The game tire at the buzzer. That shit almost went in. So you look at it from that perspective, there's no way you're a Bucks fan. There's no way you want the Bucks to win. And there's no way you actually are confident after you saw that win. And if you are, you're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself, but you can't lie to – sorry, not lying to you. You're lying to us. But at the end of the day, you can lie to me. You can lie to everybody, but you can't lie to yourself. I know, we know, and you know deep down that you aren't confident. Your palms were sweaty that whole game. You were frustrated that whole game. You know what I'm saying? And you were mad, and you were just happy. Like, oh, my God, he missed. Oh, my God, he missed. Oh, my God, he missed. You were waiting. You knew an onslaught was just about to come for the Nets, and it didn't come. Actually, sorry, it did come with KD. Let's look into the context. It came. It was KD versus Middleton down the stretch. Middleton had one. KD had one. Middleton had one. KD had one. But when KD had one, KD had his game 3 KD. You saw Game 3 KD in full effect. You saw it down the stretch, 7 straight points. A tray ball that just silenced the whole crowd, go up 3. And then what happened? You know, I think they went to the line one time or whatever, a miscommunication, and they got a dunk or a layup or whatever. And then, you know, Middleton, I think, shot one or whatever. They had a couple 1-2 baskets, but on the Nets end, actually, no, I think they only had a layup, and then they still had an opportunity to go up 3 again. And then Kyrie passed to Bruce Brown, which I didn't like. He should have took it himself. Because I'm like, okay, he's been KD. Okay, Kyrie, show me one. Like, it's either you two. That's it. That's it. But then he passed to Bruce Brown because I know he's been making that floater if you know her, but now's not the time. Now's not the time. You know what I'm saying? Now's not the time. So, you know, I didn't like Kyrie passing that one. And then again, they now off that miss, they went down and they scored Drew Holiday, obviously. I thought Drew Holiday was going to force him to the middle, but he didn't. He got beat baseline, so KD wasn't able to help right away. And obviously, layup by Drew. And like I said, this is how you know. This is how you know when a team's been padded offensively. Most of the times in that situation, what is the coach going to do? Call a timeout. But because the Bucks and the half court have been padded, and literally it's like you're getting away with one. If they score one, it's like you breathe you're breathing, like, you know, you're exhaling like, God damn, relief, because you know that it was a tough shot and it wasn't a take you wanted, right? Even with Middleton going to work, like Middleton trying to match KD, like, you're gonna lose that battle. KD is gonna beat you. Like, there's levels to this, right? So the fact that you got away with those, you would think, okay, run a half-court set again. We can score. We've been scoring, right? It's been easy. No. No, it's funny that you're doing that versus the Nets defense because they don't play defense, right? No, that's why they're like, you know what? Let it run. Let the transition run. Our best opportunity is probably going to be in transition because they've been padded in the half-court setting. So that's why he let that go, and I thought that was smart from Bud. Don't call a timeout. I'm like, they're not going to call a timeout. Nope, they're going to go. That's why I was like, get back. They're going to go. I already know they're going to go. And what happened? Drew Holiday with a spin cycle. I been Michael with a layup, right? And then now they're up 1 or whatever they are, right? And then again, Bruce Brown gets another take, right? Bruce Brown gets another take instead of going to KD. And that one was obviously situational. I know, like, at that point, right, you know, it was a bad pass or miscommunication. He thought maybe he was going back and he thought he was coming forward. Like, it looked like it was a miscommunicated type of pass from KD off the inbound. And then Bruce Brown fumble. Kyrie saves it to Bruce Brown. And then he goes. It's like in his mind, he just panicked and he thought it was like 3 seconds or 4 seconds or 5 seconds. So he just had to run. Because, you know, obviously you're worried in that situation. As if I look for Kyrie just was out of bounds. So if I look for KD, you know what I'm saying? It might take long for him to get open, and then he might have to take a bad shot. Let me just go and it's downhill situation. I can just create. That's what he's thinking. And honestly, people were saying it's blasphemous for him and whatever. Like, I didn't get too mad because it's not like it was a set play and then he just broke the play and went. There was helter-skelter already going on. So anything that happens in helter-skelter, I don't really, like, get too much mad at because I know, especially someone who has hooped in those situations, you just try to react as quick as you can and try to do something and try to just save grace, you know, make apples out of orange, make lemons out of lemonade. It's a bad situation, right? You just try to make the best of it. And that's what, you know, try to make lemonade out of lemons. Oh, my bad. My fault. But yeah, it's one of those situations. So I didn't get too mad at him. That's why you probably didn't see KD or Kyrie yell at him because they already know the play was discombobulated. The play was just already broken up. So, you know, I'm not going to get too mad at that. Obviously, you would like, you know, him and even KD to run to the ball or someone to try and get it or whatever. But, like, it was one of those of helter-skelter. Maybe, like, KD's thinking, I stay, right? And now because he's running to the paint, a guy helps, and then now you kick to me. Like, you don't know. You don't just want to run in his way and cancel the whole play. That's what a lot of times people do. They just run into the way and then, like, you cancel his opportunity or whatever. Like, you try and, like, okay, he's been playing good all game. He's been making floaters. So maybe, like you're not going to not trust Bruce Brown in that situation running downhill. Like, obviously, you look at the outcome. It's like, what is Bruce doing? But, like, a lot of he's been, obviously, a lot of them were pocket passes. But even sometimes he'll go and then he'll floater and he get, like, if you really watch the Nets, a lot of times he does this type of stuff. Not in this clutch situation, but he does this in a broken situation. He gets the floater, he gets a button, he gets a layup. Like, that's his strength, is layup. So I'm not too mad at that. I'm not going to overreact to that right? And then now it came down to the last second, and obviously KD missed that. And it looked like it was on target. Even palms was sweaty. He was like, yo, that looked like it was going in the back rimmed. It was very on target. It was just a little bit too strong, like half an inch too strong. If it was not as strong, it would have been boom, boom. It would have hit the back rim and came in. Boom. It would have hit the back rim and went in, or straight back rim down in. But it was just half an inch too long that it hit the top part of the back rim. If it hit the front side of the back rim, that's going in, right? So, literally an inch away, centimeters away. So, when you look at it from that perspective, I was only mad at the first pass from Kyrie, right? But then again, it's the same slip, Bruce Brown floater, right? That's how probably Kyrie's thinking that's what was given up. But I thought that they were gonna now play better on it because they got away with it in the first half. Bruce Brown was killing off that, so I thought Lopez was gonna contest, and he was contested even in the second quarter. So I get the thinking, but I just didn't want that, right? I didn't want that at all. I wanted, if anything, a Kyrie KD pick and roll, and you guys do what you did, like you've been said on the etceteras from time. If we get a 1-3 pick and roll, is who are me in the clutch? That's what I was expecting. The fact that it came down to a Bruce, like obviously maybe it looked like kind of it might not have been what the drop was, right? It was just kind of like Kyrie, like KD was probably gonna get in, and it was like Kyrie got it, so it was like okay, because it wasn't a timeout or nothing. It was off a rebound, right? Yeah, because they capped they didn't review the Giannis, and then they ended up missing. Then it was off a rebound, so now it was coming downhill. They didn't really set something, so yeah, they kind of came up the court, and then he was probably thinking, okay, Kyrie's going to ISO. Let's go in that bag, right? And he ended up, I think Bruce came picking and whatever. So I don't think it was a plan for, but I would want Kyrie to be like, yo, KD, let's do it, right? Or KD be like, yo, let's do, you know what I mean? That's what I would want. But anyways, when you look at it, if I'm the Nets fan, or I'm someone who's like looking for the Nets to win, or if I'm from the Nets locker room, like I'm happy. I'm ecstatic with how that game played out. If we were supposed to have our worst game, we never had our worst game in any series, in any game, offensively. And if we're to have our worst game, most people, when they have their worst games, it's a blowout. The fact that their defense was actually the staple and was actually the positive thing, and it was the offense that was a negative, that's something that's a great sign moving forward. That means you can lock in defensively. You guys have really showed that you're a defensive team now. You're really debunked all the narratives. So for our offense, which oh my goodness, once it literally is probably 1 every 10 games that we're gonna have an outcome like this. Like for our offense to be this atrocious, that's not happening. That's not happening, right? Come on now, that's not happening. So come on now, KD 11 for 28, a man who's averaging 30 points right on the season, in the playoffs on 55%, whatever it is shooting, 55, 50, and whatever 90, 50, 50, 50, 50, 90. That's what he's doing in his splits. Went for 11 for 28 on mainly open shots. That's not happening. Harris 1 for 11, like I said, mainly open shots. That's not happening. Kyrie 9 for 22, and he even had great looks as well too in a lot of rattles. That's not happening. Come on now. So 36% from the field, 25% from 3. That's not happening. The Bucks 37% from the field and 19% from 3. That's regular. 63% from the free throw. This is what they've been doing all 3 games. It's the common theme because they've been padded. So if I play my worst offensively and I lose by 3, I'm happy. I even was up. We had a game 3 KD where just like the finals, the 2 game 3s in the finals where he silenced it and went up and that was it and put the icing on the cake. He basically did it this game, but it just didn't pan out how it should have. But that's when that 3 happened. Everyone was like, yo. You felt the weight. You felt like, God, yo, they're about to get swept. That's what you felt. But it didn't pan out. So now I expect game 4. It's either the Bucks. Finally, the floodgates open and they're hitting. But that's the thing. They're not getting open shots. That's why I don't. I'll be surprised if the Bucks overall, everybody's hitting contested shots. They don't. That's the shooters don't shoot contested. They don't. If you look at them, when they score, they shoot open shots. Giannis draws attention, right? Or Middleton does, or whoever, and then now they get open shots off of those. Off their paint attack, help, kick. And that's when you see the floodgates. They're not shooting contested shots and then you see floodgates. No. That's one thing that hasn't been a common theme, and that's what people are erasing. All their shots have been contested, so the chances of them now doing what they normally have done are not going to be that. There's a game plan at hand that is a great game plan that I thought the Heat would even run, but they didn't. But it's a great game plan. You sag off Giannis, obviously. You know what I mean? That's why I'm like, they had Trevor Ariza on Giannis. No, you put a tall defender on him. You sag off him. Blake Griffin, 6'10". Tall defender on him. At least has body up. Sag off him so he can't just run by you. And then everyone else, you play tight on and you force them to contested shots. And they better kill you with Middleton and Drew creating. Contested. And that's what you live off of. And that's not the way Milwaukee plays. That's not the way Milwaukee plays. So now when you're looking at the way Milwaukee stats and all of this type of stuff and expecting them to do that, you're just erasing what they're forced to be and what they're forced to have to play. The way they're playing now. It's two different things. None of those stats are in the same context of the way they're playing now. So all those stats are irrelevant. The only stats that you have that's really relevant is the 3 games. How do they shoot when they're contested? Fugazi. That's what they have. So if they're forced to that again, if somehow, that's the only way I see an onslaught happening or they're hitting their shots, is somehow the Nets now don't play disciplined defense and they don't follow their game plan. They play lazy defense and now they give up open shots, this, that, and the third, and then now the floodgates happen. That's the only way. But if the Nets, that's what I'm saying. Like, this series is dictated by the Nets, not by the Bucks. If the Nets play their same game plan and come out with attention to detail, we coming out with confidence. We on a string like they've been. I'm gonna see the same Bucks results from 3, and then that's the question: is the Nets gonna shoot that bad? Are they? Chances are no. So I honestly, like I was saying, I before I even said 6 games, because the reason why I said 6 games is I only said that because I thought maybe Giannis will start snapping. Maybe he'll hit his shots. It wasn't from paint. Maybe Giannis will hit his shots and maybe just they'll hit contested, maybe. And but after I saw that in game 3, come on now, it's Nets in 5. I always thought in my gut Nets in 5. But I just didn't say it because I gave them the benefit of the doubt from how they played versus the Heat. But y'all are padded like this. They're lucky they didn't get swept. That's what it comes down. They're lucky they didn't get swept. Swept, not swept, swept. Because that's a big broom. that's a big broom. Because none of y'all getting swept when you maybe thought it was gonna be 5 or whatever. That's just a sweep. We expected it. But getting swept when they thought it was gonna be a tight series, that's a sweep. That's a sweep. That's what that's supposed to be, a sweep. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're lucky you didn't get swept. They lucky. They lucky. That high broom wasn't there. That high broom wasn't. They lucky, man. They lucky. But we'll see how it pans out. Sunday's the game, so we'll see, man. Anyways, like, don't let media fool you again. How they been talking about, we expected this. Nuggets, the Bucks should feel good. No, nobody in their right mind saw this game and feels confident in the Bucks. If you do, you're lying and you're just living off hope. You're living off hope and you're living off faith. You're just trying to remember the regular season and trying to hope that's gonna happen. Come on now, we'll see. Anyways, it's True Talks. Share, like, and subscribe. We out here. There's no doubt here. There's no drought here. You feel me? I appreciate y'all. You already know. Spread the word. You already know. Click that notification button so you know when I'm here. Because I'm here. You feel me? I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all like always. Obviously it's playoffs, so we grinding, man. Spread the word, man. Spread the word. I want to get to 5K by the end of this playoffs. Obviously it's doable, but nothing is able to be done without y'all. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all even up till now. But help spread the word, man. A lot of y'all, like, this should be an onus on a lot of y'all. Just every one of y'all. Just if y'all have 10 people y'all know, share that to 10 people. If y'all have 20 people y'all know, share that to 20 people. You know what I'm saying? Get this out there. The more, a hoopla we get, the more viewership we get, the more subscriptions we get, the better it is. You know what I'm saying? For content-wise, everything-wise. So I appreciate y'all, man. Just share again. Keep sharing, spreading the word. If you really think this is what elite looks like, keep spreading the word, man. At the end of the day, I appreciate y'all, man. Comment below what y'all think, if I'm tripping or if not. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's what elite looks like, man. I appreciate y'all. And I'm out, man.